Aikido, a traditional martial art, has been a topic of debate when it comes to its effectiveness in real-world scenarios, particularly in street fights. Unlike other martial arts that emphasize aggressive techniques, Aikido is renowned for its focus on defense, harmony, and using the opponent's energy against them. However, in chaotic and unpredictable environments like street fights, the question arises, can Aikido truly be effective? Aikido is a Japanese martial art developed in the early 20th century by Morihei Ueshiba. The core principle of Aikido is to harmonize with the opponent's energy rather than confront it directly. The techniques in Aikido involve circular movements that redirect the opponent's force, using their momentum to counter them. Practitioners of Aikido typically avoid direct confrontation, preferring instead to channel attacks into controlled movements. Aikido techniques emphasize efficiency, utilizing minimal physical strength by applying joint locks, throws, and precise strikes. The combat in Aikido often involves manipulating the attacker's joints, such as the wrist, elbow, or shoulder, to incapacitate them or disrupt their balance. To defend, practitioners often deflect attacks by blending with the incoming force and redirecting it through circular motions. This approach focuses on disrupting the opponent's balance, making them vulnerable to being neutralized. Aikido techniques can be adapted to various combat situations, making it versatile for different types of opponents and settings. Overall, Aikido's philosophy of blending, circular movement, and minimal force sets it apart as a martial art focused on harmony and effective self-defense. So, can Aikido be useful in a street fight scenario? Unlike martial arts, street fights have no rules. When a fight occurs in an open space with no regulations other than each opponent's personal morals, unexpected situations are bound to arise. Anything can become a weapon, and any tactic can be used no matter how dirty or unfair. In such a chaotic fighting environment, Aikido's highly structured and disciplined techniques may seem out of place. In a street fight, where rules do not exist and violence can erupt without warning, martial arts like Aikido may face unique challenges. Aikido, with its focus on structured defense techniques, control, and using the opponent's energy to neutralize attacks, is designed for situations where calmness and discipline are highly valued. However, in the context of street fights, which are often brutal and unpredictable, there are some important considerations. The lack of lethal techniques might make Aikido practitioners vulnerable to the more aggressive and unrestricted attacks common in street fights. Aikido primarily focuses on self-defense and does not have the deadly offensive techniques found in other martial arts, such as karate or Muay Thai. In situations where brutal and aggressive attacks can occur, Aikido practitioners might lack a sufficiently strong, direct response to stop the threat. For instance, consider an Aikido practitioner wearing white pants who is significantly older than his opponent, an MMA fighter. This age difference is also reflected in the conditions of their fight, where the MMA fighter dominates the duel with powerful punches. It took the MMA fighter only 30 seconds to win the fight after successfully bringing the Aikido master down to the ground. Aikido techniques often require specific conditions to be successful, such as a predictable attack from the opponent. In a street fight, attacks can come from various directions with unpredictable speed and intensity, which may make some Aikido techniques difficult to apply. When faced with highly aggressive assaults that may involve weapons or relentless attacks, the calm and structured approach of Aikido may prove less effective. In such scenarios, martial arts that teach active defense and strong counterattacks might be more appropriate. Despite these challenges, Aikido does offer strategic advantages in a street fight. The emphasis on staying calm, focused, and using the opponent's energy against them can be highly effective. Street fights are often fast-paced and chaotic, and an Aikido practitioner's ability to remain composed and anticipate the opponent's movements can turn the tide. Techniques like throws and joint locks, when applied correctly, can neutralize an opponent quickly without causing serious injury, which aligns with the martial arts philosophy of Aikido. Aikido techniques can indeed be adapted to various combat situations, making them versatile for different types of opponents and arenas. For example, consider a fight between a one-armed Aikido master and a professional MMA fighter. Despite relying on only one arm, the Aikido master managed to challenge the MMA fighter significantly. He was even able to hold his own during a clinch, a situation where MMA fighters typically excel. Remarkably, the Aikido master succeeded in bringing the MMA fighter to the ground. The dominance didn't end there. The Aikido master continued to control the situation even when the fight transitioned to the ground.
Yosh.
Aikido teaches joint locks and throws that can be used to control an opponent without causing serious injury. In situations where control is more important than destruction, this can be extremely effective. For example, in the video mentioned, the Aikido practitioner is shown expertly executing a wrist joint lock, causing his opponent to fall. Not just once, but repeatedly, the Aikido fighter was able to bring his opponent down and dominate the fight, using his highly effective Aikido techniques. Aikido training involves deep mental development, including maintaining calm under pressure and the ability to adapt quickly. This can be a valuable asset in situations where a fight can change rapidly. One of the core principles of Aikido is the ability to use the opponent's force against them. In a street fight, where energy is often explosive and uncontrolled, this ability can be employed to neutralize attacks effectively.